Hi, legends. Hope you're all having a fantastic day. Let's analyze the price of Bitcoin and see if we can find, or are we going to find, more massive momentum here to the downside. Bitcoin is at a critical decision moment. It's either a bounce, right? And maybe a relief bounce, or we're going to find lower levels here to the downside. Let me know in the comments in which camp you are leaning towards, more downside, or you think that this is just a scary move where the market makers is going to send the price back into the air. Right, legends, a lot to analyze. I'll keep the live stream a little bit shorter tonight since I'm going live a little bit later. And as always, I'll focus on the alpha. I'll go through the comments. I'll say hi to the community, maybe take a couple of altcoin requests for those of you that want me to have a look at your favorite altcoin. And right, legends, let's dive right here into the alpha. Legends, as always, before we get into it, right down in the description, Bluffin 15% cashback, okay? By selecting this link over here, if you have not signed up already, you get 15% of the money that you deposit back, right? With a maximum of $7,500. So not $7,500 deposit, that's the maximum bonus that you can get. So you might probably need to deposit like 50,000 or 60,000 to get 15% cash back. So for $1,000, you'll get $150 airdropped into your futures account, but the money has to be in your futures account. So, I mean, this is a limited time deposit reward. It's not going to last very long, most probably for the duration of this competition. And I think what is exciting about this competition for me is every time I go and check, I see we are moving up the ranks. Woo! The last time I checked, we were at 14. We are now at number, and this morning during my update, we at number 10, and now we are number 8. Legends. Legends. If we can crawl our way up here to number 1 spot, we are going to share a prize pool of $300,000. Exciting. Wouldn't that be absolutely amazing? Right, legends, I'll go through the comments in a moment. Why you are here. Analyze the price of Bitcoin. Let's talk about the probabilities, where we are at the moment. Okay, just quickly, we have to acknowledge that we are busy losing trend over here. Okay, we are busy losing trend, but we are struggling to lose the trend. It's not falling. It's just not doing anything over here. It's just going sideways here at the moment. Okay, no impulsive moves here to the downside nor to the upside. I don't see any CVD. I was having a look at CVD just before we went live, and I was so hoping that we're going to start making some bullish CVD with this retracement here to the downside, and nada, absolutely nada. Right, legends, let me know in the comments if the music is too loud, or if you can't hear the music, you want me to push it up, that's even great. Unfortunately, I cannot hear how loud you guys hear the music, so if it's disturbing, I'll turn it down. Just let me know in the comments. Okay. Right, legends, let me say hi to the beautiful community over here, and then we can dive here into the alpha. Okay. Mr. Dev, back from vacation. What did I miss, Devil? No, nothing much. Just up and down. That's all you missed. That's all the price of Bitcoin really does. It goes up and down and up and down and up and down. So there's some more up and downs, I suppose, coming into the future. Right, our way, Market M, welcome, welcome. Our way is a slang we use here in South Africa to say hi, welcome. Okay. Are we at 100K yet or 50K? If you close your eyes, we can be at any price you want us to be. Right, but really struggling to break this level. Legends, the level that I am really keeping an eye on over here, I was hoping, and I not hoping, I want us to tap a level of interest. The daily level over here, untapped. I don't like that we are just going to turn around from here and potentially find upwards momentum without tapping a key level, okay? Because this is my decision level over here. Do I short or do I long, right? Okay, let me go through the comments here quickly and then we can dive right in. Irina, hi Devil, welcome to the stream. Hemra, see you, welcome, welcome. MK Alexander, I'm in a massive long on Solana at the moment. Okay, cool. We can go and have a look at Solana. I do see that some of the altcoins are showing tremendous strength over Bitcoin, especially XRP for some reason. Okay, I had a look at the XRP BTC chart and it's showing tremendous strength at the moment over Bitcoin. So even with Bitcoin falling here, XRP is just, stuff Bitcoin. I'm doing my own thing. Right, we can go and have a look at XRP in a moment. The market a massive rising wedge got me feeling bearish. Could go down to 53k. I hope not. Now 53k is a little bit far down. Okay, 53k means, let me just make sure and count my ducks correctly before I make a comment that's not true. 53k. Ooh, you saying basically claim the local low over here. Okay, that's a very, very far way down. Right, we are still in the camp of, even if we get a correction here to the downside, legends, what we want to see, okay, for bullish momentum and potentially that massive bull run that everyone is waiting for. We've been in this consolidation area since March. It is so boring, okay? People are losing hope. There's no retail at the moment. And I mean, the whales need to dump on someone, right? Okay, so we need retail to come back into the market so that we can dump or take profits from them. It's unfortunately how the game works, but it's the truth, right? So we want this structure to remain bullish. Even if we take a dump here to the downside, we want to see a higher low, okay? We want to see a higher low. We don't want to see this low taken over here. And ideally, when you take a fib from the low to the high, you want to see us bounce here at the 786 maximum target, okay? 618 golden area, a little bit up over here, even better, right? But you want to see an impulse, you want to see a three-wave corrective structure, and you want to see continuation, okay? That's what we want to see. So, I mean, taking the low, and as per previous, some of my previous live streams, you know what's going to happen. If we take the low, right, we could be consolidating for a hell of a lot longer and still make a bullish momentum here to the upside. But yes, I can go and share that Elliott wave scenario that I do have, okay? If this structure is not going to be a bullish structure and we take the low, we might not have as bullish or as of a bullish Bitcoin that we are all hoping and expecting for a typical bull run here to the upside. Okay, so I mean, maximum target, you're looking at about maybe $110,000, $112,000. If we do get the 112 combo here to the upside, the structure needs to remain bullish. Okay, it is what it is, and I mean, timing has everything to do with it as well, or it plays an important role in Elliott wave theory as well. Okay. Right, let me go Mol. Luke Green, welcome. I think imminent low, high, just. Okay, I'm not sure I understand that comment. Mol, high devil. So I suppose we go down to 63 plus. Wave then up to 68B. And then down C to close CME gap. I'm going to talk about that CME gap. I want to talk about that CME gap. Let me open it up here so that I don't forget. That CME gap, I think it's this one if I'm not mistaken. Ooh, I already did some pretty drawings over here. Oh, I just love these Picasso drawings. Okay, obviously I was explaining something maybe during a previous live stream. Let me just do this. Right, CME gap between 60,000 and 58,000, right? Let's do this. Let's see where it is. So, I mean, if we're going to find downwards momentum from where we are right now, let me just make this thicker so that everyone can see this. Okay. I mean, we have a couple of CME gaps all over the show. Okay. The recent one where we're currently finding support is at the top of the CME gap. And I have seen people that trade CME gaps that either find support above, okay, or it fills the gap and it finds support at the bottom of the gap. What I like about the bottom of the gap is that it has confluence with this daily level that I'm waiting to be tapped. Okay, right, so we can go and talk about the CME gap. Maybe let's just wrap it up here. Legends, the one thing I wanted to highlight as well is that you guys often hear me say, okay, when everyone is waiting for a level to be tapped, beautiful 618 over here, okay? Golden zone. Everyone knows from a Fibonacci perspective, taking a fib from the low to the high, this is usually a great bouncing area, and usually from bullish momentums to the upside and waves to the upside and or to the downside, your 0.618 is usually a great bouncing area. But I'm still leaning in that camp, okay, because I've seen it play out so many times. And for those of you that's been on the live streams for following me for a while, you know that more than likely what's going to happen over here. And I'll show you another example, okay, where it's currently happening. When everyone, okay, is waiting for a level, because I see everyone talking about the CME gap. Right, everyone is talking about the CME gap. I see it all over X, people posting charts, CME gap, CME gap. I see the Ellioticians talk about the CME gap. Often what happens is, even if we get a correction, you're either going to front run it, okay, forcing people to buy in at higher prices. It's just too many people watching this gap. I'm not saying it's impossible. I'm saying, yes, we can get a beautiful bounce here on the 618 and then continue the momentum to the upside. It just feels like everyone is waiting for this gap. So you either front run it, okay, or you break it and you make people extremely bearish. But then I want to see maximum target of the 786. If we're going to start dancing around that 0.88 at $55,000, 500, ooh, that's not going to look good. Legends, that's not going to look good, okay? You might have a bounce back up and then you take the low, right? And then I really hope that we're not going to get that scenario play out, but I mean, Bitcoin is here to surprise us, right? Okay, legends, let's go back here onto the price of Bitcoin and let me discuss a couple of things that I'm watching over here. Cutest girls, yeah, yes, yesterday you were also in my live stream, Bitcoin dumping. Yes, Bitcoin dumping, and as per the thumbnail, I have the bear, you know, are the bears taking over? The bears feast, you know, are the bears going to spoil the party for the bulls, you know, kick the bulls here off the cliff. I wanted to make a thumbnail of a bear pushing a bull off a cliff. I couldn't really get it right. I stuffed it up so badly, so I just went with the thumbnail that I have now, right? Because this is such a critical decision moment. So, I mean, looking at the structure, legends, you have a high, you have a higher high, you have a higher high, higher high, higher high, and you have this beautiful higher low structure over here, okay? Higher low, higher low. Okay, this is the decision moment, right? So do we get a bounce, right? We have another daily level here, beautiful daily level here. Do we get a bounce and make people bullish? Maybe some bearish CVD building up between these two pivots, and then we take a dump here to the downside where we're starting to change market structure. Remember, I always talk about proof of support or proof of resistance. To me, this will be a sign of proof of resistance. If we had to get a bump up here to the upside and we fall down, you're starting to change market structure, okay? And then you make a lower low, okay? Lower low compared to that low, and you start changing market structure and you potentially take this low over here. But this low over here is very interesting to me as well. Okay, and I'll get to that in a moment. I did briefly touch on it on my YouTube update this morning. Right, legends. XRP pumping too. Yes, XRP is indeed pumping, and I see it is showing tremendous strength over the price of Bitcoin. I mean, just quickly here on the price of XRP, I looked at the XRP BTC pair, and I mean, it's absolutely showing so much strength over the price of Bitcoin. Let me just clean it up. Interesting. Okay, it actually looks like it broke out, and you can see why XRP is so bullish over the price of Bitcoin. You know, when an altcoin breaks out over the price of Bitcoin on the BTC pair, XRP over BTC, you can see that it's showing tremendous strength over the price of Bitcoin. So perhaps it will continue the upwards momentum here, and who knows, maybe it is XRP's time to shine. I see a lot of social media talking about XRP, it's time, it's been consolidating for a couple of years, it needs to go, right? We can go and have a look at that in a moment. Right, legends, so as per my YouTube update today, if you didn't watch it, if we do get, okay, legends, let me just clean this up here quick. Where's my daily levels? Switch off the daily levels, right? And I'll talk about this blue line here in a moment. Right, legends, basically in a nutshell, two scenarios that I'm watching here, and this is based on the current price action that I have in front of me, okay? Obviously, as more data becomes available, the scenarios could change, right? Scenario number one, okay, is this scenario over here. And I know it looks a little bit messy, but I'll explain it in detail so it makes sense to everyone, right, legends? Is scenario number one is that the end of the impulse was here, okay, where you have a beautiful 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, end of the impulse, and this is corrective, okay? This is corrective, where you have a flat corrective structure. Basically, the flat takes the high, okay, and it needs to take the low, preferably as well. It doesn't have to, but it needs to take the low. How can I say it? It is more common for it to take the low, but it's not an invalidation, right? Where you have an A, B, C to the downside, maximum target 1.618, and then where it becomes interesting, when I take a fib from the low to the high over here. Okay, this is now where I know it looks a little bit messy, legends, just bear with me for a second, okay? 50% fib level, right? Remember that CME gap that I've just pointed out, that CME gap is at the 0.618. 50% fib level is slightly above, and this is why I'm saying this could be a front run, right? Where the maximum C wave target is at the 1.618, if this is the scenario and this is the high over here, and this is a beautiful A, B, C. Maximum target C wave, it hits the 50% fib level and it front runs the CME gap, okay, and we get a beautiful bounce back here to the upside. So definitely a scenario that I'm keeping in mind to say that, well, this could be the front run. This could be the front run. Interestingly, it could even front run the 50% fib level. And why do I say that? Because a little bit further up, okay, we have the 1.236, which is also a very common C wave target, okay? And what I like about the 1.236, and let me just take it out, clean it up here a little bit, because I've now marked out that level, is that it has confluence with this low, okay? So perhaps an A, B, C at the 0.382, where you grab the liquidity slightly below this low, but you make a double bottom, right? So, and it bounces here beautifully on this diagonal trend that I've got running up, okay? That diagonal trend, legends, is, let me show you, just need to clean up the scribble over here. That diagonal trend, okay, you can see I've got 3 trend lines running up here, is when I connect this low. Can everyone see that? Yes. And I connect this low, okay, 2 beautiful lows over there. When I connect them, I get another trend line over here. And I've often, very, very often seen on Bitcoin, when it starts to change market structure and it makes a higher low for continued momentum to the upside, often when you connect these 2 lows and price starts correcting, you get a nice bounce on that trend for the third touch, which has perfect alignment with the 382 and also a C wave target. So I will definitely be keeping an eye on this level for also a potential bounce here to the upside, which has confluence with the trend 382. Remember what I said, it's all a game of probabilities, and it will also be a swing failure from the lows over here. Okay, so that is how I'm going to trade it. What I would like to see from the price of Bitcoin, if we do get a little bit more dumpy action here from the price of Bitcoin, just zooming into the structure, what I would like to see is, I would like to see price move down, whichever way, 5-wave structure, doesn't really matter, but I would like to see price move it down, and then I'm going to have a line here, okay, with an alarm set, and I'm not going to long as we are breaking it, okay? I am going to long the retracement as we get acceptance back above this line, which is the lows, which means you do a liquidity grab, you bounce on the trend, you get acceptance back above the 0.382, and then this is where I long as we are getting the recovery, not as we are falling, not with limit orders. That's just absolutely insane, because price can do this. You wake up the next day, your limit orders kicked in, and you are massively underwater, okay? Or you've liquidated your account or your position size. So for me, this requires chart time, right? I want to observe the price reaction over here. So I will be longing as we get acceptance back above that low. So This is the first area that I will be watching for momentum here to the downside, if we do get the momentum here to the downside, because there's another scenario where we could continue up from here without retracing, okay, which I'll explain in a moment. Right, legends, smash up the like if you enjoy the alpha over here. And right, so legends, so first level that I'll be watching, like I've just explained, is the 382, okay, the lows over here, 1.618. If you take your fib extension, trend-based fib extension, you take it from the high of number 5, you take it to the low, okay, of A. So this is A, B, C, okay, you leave it at the low of A, you just click again, and then you go into your settings and you reverse your chart, right? And you can see, and this is why this could be a B flat here to the upside, is because the most common target for a B flat is between the 1.236 and the 1.382. And this is exactly inside of this zone, right? Between these two levels where we got rejected. Beautiful rejection inside of B flat targets over here, right? Then the next level, obviously, this level we've just spoken about. The next level that I will observe the price reaction is here, okay, by the 0.5 fib level, potentially front running the 0.618. So I am leaning in the camp, like, you know, I'm always trying to look for the front running levels because everyone is waiting for the 0.618. Specifically, I just see all the posts about this bloody CME gap that everyone is waiting for. Okay. Right, legends. Then, this is the most bullish scenario that I have if this is the end of the impulse and this is part of a corrective structure. What is also interesting about this structure, and I know I'm carrying on here, I'm just so excited about this structure, and it looks like it could be the scenario that's going to play out. We'll just have to obviously observe price reaction as we hit each level. Is if I look at this entire impulse here, legends, okay, timing plays an important role in trading as well, from a corrective and an impulse perspective. So you use your little timing tool. I think it's inside this section over here. Where is it? Trend-based fib time, okay. What you want to see is when you look at an impulse, just to explain it to you guys, when you look at an impulse, okay, usually the correction needs to be a 1-to-1 ratio in time. So you want to see a 1-to-1 and then continuation to the upside, ideally for the momentum to balance, okay. I hope that makes sense. So purely what I'm doing over here is I take a time fib and then I measure the time, how long it took to form this impulse. I take it from, oops, I did that wrong. I take it from the low to the high of number 5. Okay, now I've got time. What's nice about this timing fib is if the impulse ended over here, okay, we are already by the 0.618 from a timing perspective, and the 1-to-1 ratio is at 7 August, Wednesday, 7 August, right? So, which tells me that if we still get momentum here to the downside, okay, we can go make that higher low and, you know, extend the correction. We can still bounce here, make a higher low, and then find continuation here to the downside. And then more than likely between the 618 and the 1-to-1 ratio is usually where you can expect upwards momentum or a reversal back to the upside. Okay, so what I like about the high being over here is that we already have had some time inside of the correction timing. Okay, we are already almost by the 0.618. Not yet, but almost. Right, I hope that makes sense. Okay, then I will dive into some more comments in a moment, and then I'm going to discuss the second structure that I'm watching over here. Okay, so I can just take all this nonsense here out the way, right? Clean it up, take the fib out, just make it nice and neat. Right, legends, let's go through the comments. Say hi to the beautiful community. 𝗬cie𝗵𝗽, what would be the Elliot wave scenario if we take that 53K low? Okay, very good question. I will go show you that in a moment. I just want to finish up the second scenario that I'm watching here, perhaps the third scenario, and then I'll show you the Elliott wave scenario if we take the 53K, okay, on the daily time frame. Very interesting indeed. Hello, 𝗬𝗍𝘆𝗽, new to your channel, brother. Ghost Levi, welcome. I appreciate you being here. Thanks for joining. Front Run City, yes. And I mean, for the people that's been following me for a while, they know exactly what I mean. Legends, I just have to point this out. I know I want to go here onto the second scenario, but I just have to point this out, okay? Let's go here onto the 12-hour time frame, okay? I just want to show you guys this, okay? When we were trading over here, do everyone remember when we were trading here, the fear that kicked in, everyone panicking, okay, when we were trading over here? And I can tell you guys, if I take a fib here from the low to the highs that we've made, do you know how many people was waiting for the 618 and this consolidation area over here? Everyone was talking about $50,000. Everyone. I saw it everywhere. $50,000, $50,000, 49, 48, even lower levels. Everyone was eyeing this zone over here because we have that beautiful consolidation area. We had massive liquidity lying beneath here. Everyone was waiting for this level while we were having the dump here to the downside. And guess where we turned around? We front ran that level. So it plays out larger time frames, smaller time frames. I've just seen when there's an obvious level that everyone is watching. And I said this during my live streams as well, is guys, we're either going to front run it, look, and we bounce perfectly there on that 0.5 fib level, or we're going to go down a hell of a lot lower to scare the crap out of everyone. So often when I see a lot of people watching a zone, you either front run it or you break it and you scare the crap out of everyone where they start selling their positions, and then the smart money just buys up, you know, all the selling pressure over there, and then you get the momentum back to the upside. So I did speak about this $44,000 level as well, just to say that, guys, if we don't front run it, I'm seeing a $44,000 Bitcoin. And guess what? We front run it. So this is why I'm highlighting some of these scenarios over here, is to say that there's definitely a possibility, okay, on the smaller time frames that I've just explained to you guys, that we can front run the CME gap. Okay. Right, legends. Go through some more comments over here. Front Run City, gone through that. Good evening. Hope all is well. Mr. MH, welcome in the house. XRP is pumping. Yes, it gets such a bad rap, yet its fundamentals and partnerships are ever growing. Yes, and I think it's had such a bad rap because technically, from a charting perspective, it is a very, very difficult coin to chart. It has these scam weeks to the upside, to the downside. I can tell you guys, from a technical perspective, it is really a difficult coin to try and chart and make sense of. And I think from a trading perspective, a lot of traders don't trade XRP because it's just such a difficult technical coin to trade. From a fundamental perspective, I mean, yes, they had the court case. I don't know if they won. I actually stopped following the stories. I had a massive bag, a massive bag of XRP a couple of years ago. And I sold it and took that money and I bought Solana, Rune, and Render with that money. And I don't regret it because I've made insane gains with Solana, Rune, and Render instead of just holding XRP. But XRP could have its time to shine, right? We never know. Okay, legends, you will eventually have a set time for your market update sessions each day. 𝗬𝗍𝘆𝗽, will you eventually? Yes, I am planning to have it's set time. It's just, you know, sometimes myself and Andy have to coordinate. Maybe he's got plans, I got plans. We try not to go live together, but I think it's going to happen at some point where we do go live together to stick to our time slots. But I want to stick to around about 4 p.m. Central European time every single day for my live streams. I want to try and stick to that time. Unfortunately, today I couldn't stick to that time. So I waited for Andy. I joined in the live stream, saw all the comments, said hello to everyone. And now I'm here, right? Now I'm here. Okay, cool, legends. Let's quickly discuss the second scenario. Okay, second scenario is this one. Okay, please also bear with me. I know it looks messy because this morning I went and I measured the crap out of every scenario and wave over here, but I will explain it so it makes sense. Okay, and this is a little bit where it comes confusing, is that this is the end of the impulse. So, you know, we just discussed that this was the end of the impulse, where this is a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This is the end of the impulse. Also, to measure the fifth wave ironically also loves B-flat targets at the 1.236, 1.2382 is also fifth wave targets. Okay, the bad news about this scenario, there's two bad news stories about this scenario. If this is the end, okay, the correction has just started. So, if I take a time fib from the start of the impulse to the end of the impulse, I mean the 1-to-1 ratio is all the way here at 22 August. So for all the bulls out there, if this is the end of the impulse here to the upside, okay, if this is the end, we can still expect a very long corrective structure for the impulse to balance itself out. 1-to-1 potentially, but you could you can start bouncing here by the 0.618 minimum target 0.382, which is at 7 August, 618 is at 13 August, 1-to-1 ratio is at 23 August, and it can even extend beyond the 1-to-1 ratio. So the bad news about this structure is that if this is the end, the correction has just gotten started. Okay, so there's still a lot that needs to happen over here before we can expect an explosive move here to the upside. So that's the one bad thing about this structure. And then from a timing perspective, and that's why I showed you guys the timing on the previous structure as well. The other bad thing is that the correction can be a little bit deeper as well. So looking at the impulse here to the upside, okay, we can still make a deeper A. We are still busy with the A wave potentially. Yesterday during my live stream, someone asked me how long or how do you measure the A wave, and I said I really don't know, okay, and I still don't know, but I have done some research, and what I did find is that they say, from the research that I've done, is that you cannot really measure the A wave, but it usually retraces in the same area as the fourth wave. So you can expect this area, okay, where the fourth wave ended, for the A wave to end. So it's kind of, it gives you an idea more or less where the A wave can end, okay, typically in the zone of the fourth wave, right? But there's no official measurement for it, okay. So I have to speculate. I just put it here, round about the fourth wave over here, so that I can start drawing some fib levels. So if we fall down here, we create an A wave, we still go back, we create a lower high where you start changing market structure, okay, you make a lower high, and the C wave can still go down here to the 1.618 at $57,000, which will most likely close most of that CME gap over there. Okay, so this is most likely the scenario that a lot of people are watching at the moment, is to say, yeah, we have a high over here, end of the impulse, and we're going to make a larger ABC here to the downside. We're going to fill the CME gap, and then we're going to have a bounce here on this trend over here, 618. And I think also when I take a fib here, I know it looks messy, I'll clean it up in a moment. A fib here from the low to the high, you can see it is not really inside a fib level, but it's between the 618 and the 786, which is regarded as the golden pocket. But we do have the 236 and the 1-to-1 ratio here as well. It's not to say that the C wave has to come down to the 1.618. Okay, right, now I've explained both scenarios. So legends, let me know which scenario do you think is going to play out, because this scenario that I'm showing you over here is going to give us that potential soft landing, okay, where we just gonna shoot up, fill the CME gap, and everyone pack their bags, we're ready for the bull run or the potential momentum back here to the upside. So let me know in the comments, which scenario do you think is going to play out? When I look at this scenario, definitely a possibility for the scenario to play out, but it just feels too many people are watching it, okay, and therefore I prefer the previous scenario that I've just shown you. Right, legends, then, okay, I know this looks like an absolute dirty kitchen over here, so let me take this out the way. That looks better, much better. Okay, so from a simplicity perspective, legends, okay, from a simplicity perspective, based on the Elliott wave scenarios that I've just shared over here, I want to take this one out the way. It's causing some havoc. Right, so from a Fibonacci perspective, basically from the scenarios that I've just shared, we can bounce at the 0.382, we can bounce at the 0.5, and we can bounce inside of the golden zone, closing the CME gap. Okay, so which one is it going to be? Right, or, you know, are we going to take the lows, which I'll cover in a moment. Definitely, I mean, we can't predict the market. We've just tapped the top of the range that we've been in since March, right? And you from a probability perspective, you tap the top, you come back to the bottom. If you see a deviation, you can, you know, tap the 0.88, increase the probabilities for lower levels, and I'll explain that scenario in a moment. Okay, so we want the structure to remain bullish. Okay. Right, legends, last scenario that I want to tackle over here, and I don't have to open up anything complicated over here, is that I just want to explain, usually, okay, in a 1-1-2 combo, okay, when you have two impulses so close to each other, we refer to it as a 1-1-2 combo, and I do see like a little zigzag over there, and it also looks like a little zigzag over here, so it looks like this could be a 1-1-2 combo. Usually what happens is when you have a 1-1-2 combo, okay, and you finish the impulse, okay, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, you are also looking to end the structure in a 4-4-5 because you started with a 1-1-2. So typically what you see with a 1-1-2 combo is something that looks like this, where you have a 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 4, 5. And then you start the correction. Okay, this scenario does carry some probabilities, but I mean, you need to claim the high, and you need to see some local bullish CVD building up between these pivots, which I don't see just as yet. If I can start seeing some bullish CVD between these pivots as price is moving down, not taking the low, okay. Okay, sorry, got distracted there by the emojis. I thought something is wrong, okay? If we can make a bullish structure, you have a high, you have a higher low, definitely a possibility for this scenario to still play out. And I think this scenario is going to confuse the crap out of everyone if it does play out. You even get 1-1-2 combos, legends, where you get, okay, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 4, 5, 4, 5. Okay, these structures confuse the crap out of everyone. Okay, but it usually ends the same way it starts. Right. Okay, now I've gone through my rant, and well, not really a rant, I've gone through all my scenarios over here on the price of Bitcoin. Let me go through some more comments and see what you guys are saying up here. Andre, 𝗬𝗿𝘆𝗽, what scenario is most probable, 1 or 2? That, my friend, is all based on the price action. Okay, so each scenario has invalidations. I prefer scenario number 1, but they both carry at the moment the same probabilities, because when I measured them out, the fifth wave, beautiful target, flat wave, beautiful target, I could not find anything wrong. So usually when you have Elliott wave scenarios, some of them always break the rules, and you try and pick the scenario that's breaking the least amount of rules, and they are just perfectly balanced. So invalidation is obviously, okay, far away. If we lose the 50% fib level, then, you know, chances are we are busy with a larger ABC here to the downside. So it's really just difficult to say, but I do prefer, from a market psychology perspective, scenario 1, where you are going to potentially front run the 618 level. Okay, from a market psychology perspective, I prefer that scenario because I think no one is expecting it. So, and I have seen it play out now recently on the daily time frame on Bitcoin. So it does favor to stuff with people's minds, okay, forcing them to buy into higher levels. But unfortunately, nothing's guaranteed, right? So no, I don't have a clear answer for you, unfortunately. Alan Clark, welcome, welcome. Congrats on 2K subs. Thank you so much. 5K next, I'm sure. Yes, yes, yes. Thank you so much for everyone that's subscribing to the channel. And if you're not subscribed, subscribe to future notifications. Hit the like so we can share the content so people that haven't seen me before can see me. YouTube can recommend my channel to them. And I hope you guys are enjoying the alpha over here, how I go about analyzing the charts. Okay, it's all just a game of probabilities. That's all it is. Okay, calculated probabilities with good risk management is what makes us money. Right, legends, the one scenario I did want to tackle here quickly, as per the question I got from the legends, is when I go into which time frame? Let's go to the 3-day time frame over here. Okay, I can switch off the trends, just clean it up here a little bit, put this into my trends folder, trend folder. Okay, just clean it up here, sort out my folders over here. Right, legends, when I look at the structure over here, okay, I just want to, when I go to the larger time frames, I like to use logarithmic. Okay, is it this one? No, it's not this one. This bullish 112 combo. Not this one, this scenario. Okay, legends, just quickly want to highlight this scenario over here. So I got asked the question, if we take the low again, right, then this scenario that you're seeing over here becomes a more probable scenario. The favor starts increasing for this scenario to play out because of the timing, okay, of this correction from a timing perspective. Okay, where you'll have a 1, 2, we are finished with the third wave. We are still busy with a larger fourth wave where we still need to bounce on the 50% or the 382 over here. I have my box inside here where we can then still expect a fifth wave here to the upside, completing the bull market for then a larger ABC for the next bear cycle. Okay, so this structure does look a little bit boring. So if we're still going to have that face melting price action from some of our favorite altcoins and Bitcoin going past $150,000, this really looks like a boring structure. So it's not particularly a structure that I like to say this is a bull market structure. I would say that's one more high, 100,000, and then we're falling down. And also, like I said, everyone is eyeing 100,000. So perhaps we're going to overshoot that target. So the probabilities for this structure increases if we have to come back down here and we take the low from a timing perspective, okay? The correction is becoming too long for the other bullish scenarios that I have, okay? Which means it increases the probabilities for this structure to play out where the correction can still last up until 5 November. So if you take the low, you can still correct here, and maybe find support inside of this zone and then start a bullish leg here to the upside, completing round about the $110,000 mark. So that's why you really don't want us to take this low now. Okay. Hope that makes sense. So this structure, it's just a game of probabilities, gains probability, okay, if we lose the low. It's the simplest way that I can put it. And I mean, this is the structure that I would like to see for the bull run here to the upside. Like I've explained during a lot of my updates, is a 112 combo, because the 112 combos, like I've just explained here on the smaller time frame, this move here to the upside, 112 combo, they are extremely bullish, way more bullish than the structure that I've just shown you. Okay, so if we have a 112 combo, right, this correction needs to end over here because it's becoming too long in time. Okay, and there's a couple of other things. I'm not going to go into the details, where you basically have a 1, 2, 1, 2, and you are expecting, okay, a higher low over here and a massive explosion here to the upside. Roundabout minimum target for a third wave over here, $133,000, but the third waves can be very explosive. Okay, they can go to the 2618, $182,000, $232,000, right? And let's just say from a conservative perspective that this is going to be the end, right? Then because you have a 112, 1, 2, 1, 2, you expect a 3, 4, 5, 4, 5. Okay, so it can take us around about $170,000, $180,000. So What I'm trying to highlight over here is I think if we're going to have a decent bull run, you know, like a nice little bull run that makes it worth it for everyone, this is the structure that I would like to see. Because the other one doesn't look so good. It really looks boring. Okay, hope that makes sense. Right, legends. 𝗬𝗍𝘆𝗽, what scenarios? Okay, one or two. I've answered that question, Andre. Hope I answered it as best as I could. That scenario of filling the CME gap and bouncing off that trend is way too predictable for Bitcoin. Yes, Alexander, I agree with you 100%. I mean, I just remember how bearish everyone was. Okay, let me just switch off the scenario. I just remember this level over here, and I'm sure you guys remember it as well. This level, we're going to 50,000. Guess where we turned around at 53? We didn't go to 50,000. We didn't go to 48. People were calling for $44,000. People were calling for us to bounce inside of this consolidation area over here. Look where we turned around. Where I also mentioned, guys, I've just seen it so many times play out, okay? Especially on the smaller time frames as well. 1 hour time frame, 15-minute time frame. When it's too obvious and everyone is watching it, you either get a front run or you scare the crap out of them. Oh, greatness. We didn't bounce here. We didn't bounce here. What now? Sell, sell, sell. We're going back into a bear market, and then you get the bounce. So we got the front run over here. And this could be a potential another front run. Okay. Nothing guaranteed. Okay. It might not come true. Please don't hold me to it. All I'm saying is I can see that it has played out many times in the past from a technical perspective. Right. 𝗬𝗍𝘆𝗽, do you and Andy chill and drink beer together and talk about crypto? Yes, we did when I was in Dubai. Myself and Andy did have a couple of beers together. We had some fun times together. I'm not going to elaborate. It was good, but we used to sit together every single morning and share analysis and talk about the charts. I think people around us just got so bored with us. Okay, those two talking about charts again. We can't even change the subject, and then they change it back to Bitcoin or their favorite altcoins, and then they sit in a room and they brainstorm their favorite altcoins together. Like, yeah, we spent a lot of time together just brainstorming and sharing analysis and ideas. What does he see? What do I see? It was really great. It's really great. And we do sometimes still do it and send each other messages and things like that. Mr. Scoot, probability, 100% dice. Okay. Right. Let me see if I've tackled most of the comments. True predictable won't happen. Yes. Front run CME gap by bouncing off 382. We will see. Yes, I'm also eyeing this scenario as the first trading option that I've highlighted during the beginning of the stream. Okay, if you haven't seen me talk about the scenario over here, I just got so confused there for a second. 4-hour time frame. Legends, I've spoken about this scenario in detail, why I favor this scenario, or why it's the first level that I will be watching like a hawk. Okay, when you take a fib from the high to the low to the high, why I will be watching this level like a hawk, because that could be a great front run level. Okay, and I've gone into detail all the levels of confluence and the Elliot wave scenarios, the trend that makes sense over there. Okay, beautiful trend over there as well in confluence, sweep of the lows, swing failure pattern that could play out there. Right, just depends on whether you're using log or not. Okay. 𝗬𝗍𝘆𝗽, when do you think bull run is over? Well, it depends on which scenario is going to play out. Okay, it really depends on which scenario is going to play out, and it's difficult to say, because if 3 day, so let's go put on the bullish scenario here. If it's this scenario, okay, and I mean, it's difficult to say. I need price action to be able to measure the waves properly, so I'm just speculating over here, and I've done it as best as I possibly could, where the wave 4 is generally larger, okay, at least one longer than once, you know, longer than the 1 to 1, but generally 2 times longer than your first, than your second wave over here, and then you're expecting still some momentum over here. So you're looking at next year, mid next year, okay, mid next year for this scenario to play out, where we reach the peak. But I mean, if we're going to go into the 112 combo, I don't know, it could be the end of next year. Okay. Could be the end of next year. It could be Jan 2026. Could be Jan, right? That's when the bear market started. The previous bear market, do you guys remember? Massive rally during November, December. I think even Jan, somewhere in Jan, Feb, the correction started. So it does make sense from a timing perspective. But I mean, it's difficult to say. But I mean, mid next year for the one scenario, end of next year for the 1-2 scenario. And it's just a guesstimate. Please don't hold me to it. Right. Thank you so much for the explanation for the alternative scenarios for taking the lows. Makes complete sense. Delia, I'm not sure how to pronounce your name. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. Yes, it's all about just looking at both sides of the coin, okay? When people are bullish or bearish, I am, from a day trading perspective, I'm a bull and a bear in the same day, okay? Depending on what level gets hit, I mean, the obvious level that I'm currently watching for maybe a small little bounce here to the upside is the daily levels. Where's my daily levels? Okay, I have moved things around here. Right. I'm waiting for this daily level. I don't like to long from a price action that's just hanging in the middle of nowhere. It's not hitting one of my favorite. I like to trade from my area of interest. I don't like to trade to my area of interest. Okay, I have an area of interest over here. I have a daily level that's untapped, and price is really struggling here at the moment. But I would be watching. What I would be watching over here is I want to see how we are going to react at this daily level. Okay. I want to see maybe a liquidity grab and you get acceptance back above. That's what I will be looking for. Okay. I want to see us fall and get a recovery. If we're going to break down and just continue, I'm not going to, I'm going to look at the price action. If I'm sleeping, I miss the trade. It doesn't matter. I don't trade with limit orders. I do 99% of my trading with market orders because I want to see what is happening with the price. How does the price react? I'm not just going to put a limit order here by the daily level, go to bed and hope for the best. Okay. Yes, you can put a stop loss by all means. But I like to manage my risk. I put a stop loss, I push my stop loss up as the price moves in my favor. I take a little bit of profits to pay for the fees. I like to be hands-on with my trades. Okay, the days for me trading with limit orders are gone. Okay, I have not had very successful trade with limit orders. Right, we also have a little bit of an order block over here. So also what I'm looking at is if I take a fib here from the low to the high, okay, 786 looks like a great bouncing area. I mean, definitely a possibility. We have a nice little wick here to the downside. You tap the 786, you get recovery back above the daily, but the daily level is a decision moment for me. This is where I will decide whether I'm entering along over here, okay, getting supported here by this consolidation area, tapping the 0.786, getting acceptance back above the daily could give us a nice little bounce here to the upside, perhaps reject by this daily over here, okay, for a lower high, okay, potential lower high for continuation here to the downside. But I mean, I can make money from these little momentums to the upside and to the downside because legends, I mean, I remember trading this momentum here, okay, on the 15-minute time frame. I remember this like it was yesterday, and maybe it was yesterday. Right, legends. 3 peaks. I often talk about the 3 peaks. I love to see these 3 peaks, price getting exhausted. Okay, I was waiting for that third peak. And you short as you get the acceptance back below because then you know where to put your stop loss. If I don't know where to put my stop loss, I don't enter the trade. So if you are pumping up here and you entering and just adding to a position and opening up a short over here, where on earth are you going to put your stop loss? Do you just close your eyes and hope for the price to fall down? Because it might not. It might continue and then it bleeds out your account. Okay. So when we got this price action, because I've seen this play out somewhere else as well. Okay. It played out over here. Right. There was a daily level over here. Okay. Support, 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 support. Beautiful liquidity grab. It gets acceptance back above. That's where you enter. Put your stop loss, and as you move into green, okay, this is why I like to manage my trade. I protect my position. Okay, beautiful liquidity grab. So I wouldn't be surprised at this daily level to see similar price action where it's struggling, and woof, bam. Okay, I want to see how price is going to react first before I just say definitely guaranteed a bounce over here, because you could break down here with high volume and retest it as resistance, okay, for continuation to the downside. Right, legends, that is unfortunately all I wanted to discuss. So many other things. I'll tackle that tomorrow during my live stream. As always, remember, legends, the 15% cash back. Okay, if you have not signed up with the Bluffin link down in the description, first link here under exchanges down in the description, you qualify for 15% cash back. You need to sign up, and if you're an existing user, you also qualify from this benefit. Put money into the features trading account if you have signed up with the link, and wait for the duration, you know, for the competition to finish. You have to leave your money in there for quite some time, but why not just come and trade with us, legends? We are now, let me refresh this page. I get excited to see how we're moving up. Okay, I'm also doing some trading here on Bluffin. In 8th position, legends, we have a chance. There are still how many days left? We still have 12 days left to get to first position over here. Okay, we are now number 8. We were at number 14 yesterday, number 10 this morning, and now we're at number 8. So we're climbing the ladder, legends. We're climbing the ladder, right? It would be absolutely amazing to be number 1, and we as a community are going to share the prize pool of $300,000. Okay, making all those trades and hard work worth it. Right, legends. Thank you so much for watching. I appreciate you guys being here, and I will see you guys tomorrow in the next update. Just for now.